Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Andrea here doing another video on Monday. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who is viewing the videos and commenting, subscribing, liking, etc. Today this is going to be how to heal Lyme disease part 11, possible COVID patient. So I don't know if you guys know, but since I started this YouTube channel, which is kind of ironic, like lately, my first video, I was getting a little bit sick. It was the end of January. And then in February, all my videos, I'm like deathly sick for like the whole month. Me and my daughter kind of caught this virus. We didn't know what it was. We're going back to the doctors, back and forth. And they were saying like we had the COVID symptoms, but had you been to Wuhan? No. Had Wuhan come to you? No. The standard thing, because at the beginning they were saying that it was due to travel. We had not traveled, so that kind of eliminated us, but then later they found out that it's, just transmission from person to person. So for the whole month of February, we were like super, super sick. And then March, it was still lingering on, and it started to go away. I guess it was around mid-March it started to go away. But then everything kind of started again with a few new symptoms or whatever. And we both weren't feeling well again. And it just dragged on so long. So both me and my daughter got it. She got it a little less than I got it, just because she's younger and healthier than I am. I'm older and I have Lyme disease and other chronic illnesses. So I decided to go to the Richmond General Hospital just a couple weeks ago. And I went in with all my symptoms. So my voice is still a little off, but I do feel like I'm almost over this. I think we're both almost through this. But I went into the Richmond General Hospital emergency, and, I told him the whole story about my symptoms and going back to doctors, 4 times, different doctors, and the whole story about it. And he actually, when I went in, the nurse kind of said, well, you could have COVID. Like, you could have COVID. And she was seeming to be pretty convinced that I had COVID. So when I came in, they gave me a mask, and then I went into a waiting room. It was like an isolation area. And the hospital was really quiet. So they had like ICU patients on one side that had COVID that were being treated. And on the other side of the hospital, they had like isolated bedding and isolated chair area. So, you get the mask, you go in the isolated chair area, and then you get called into an isolated bed, and then you see the doctor. And when I was talking to the nurse, though, there was a positive COVID patient that did come in. So, the paramedics were kind of there and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I just kind of skedaddled out of there back into the lobby through the glass doors. And so when I got taken into the isolation area, and then I had my mask in the chair behind me, like you're sitting in the thing, it says chair, and you're just sitting there, and then you go into the isolation bed, and I saw the doctor, and he said, okay, we'll run some tests and stuff. So they did some blood work, and they did an EKG and checked my heart, but my heart's always fine, so that was good. And they also did a chest x-ray. So I did not have pneumonia, which was great. That was a really good thing to hear. However, I did have all the symptoms of COVID. And my blood work came back. Now, I had been sick a month, like really, really sick, like going on a month, over a month actually, and then the symptoms kind of started getting better, and then it flared up again. So this is like a month and a half in, and I guess I had gone through the worst of it, and I was at the end of it. And so my blood work was kind of like border with I think it's my CRP, like creatine reactive protein, so that measures inflammation in your blood work. that was kind of borderline. And then I think it was my like leukocytes or something, I can't remember, but they were also border. So in order to warrant a blood test, you have to have them like high, pretty high, and then they would have swabbed me because the nurse was asking the doctor, do you want a swab and all that. But they're really careful on their tests now. Like they're testing all the healthcare workers. When I was talking to the nurse, and they're testing doctors and stuff like that. But high marker people are being tested. So I was kind of like, I don't know, not high enough, I guess, to be tested. And they can't test everybody. So he basically said, like, you could have COVID, and you still could have COVID. It's just the tail end. So he was giving me an impression. He was, basically saying that he thought I had COVID. He didn't bring up any other viruses or anything. He told me to go home and self-isolate. And he treated me like a COVID patient. So he did give me a sheet, which I'll show you in a second. And he told me to go home and like quarantine for 14 days, which we did. And we just finished our quarantine. It was really hard staying in the house for 14 days. So, except even like not going out at all. I mean, before we were only going out to get like groceries and go to the bank or something. And now it was just like, you're just in the house. It's really different. It's really difficult for me and my daughter because we're really outgoing, outdoorsy people. So anyways, he basically said he thinks it's COVID and that, probably my daughter has it too because I was telling him she has the same symptoms. So she probably has it too. Just kind of leaning that way. So he did treat me as a COVID patient, and he gave me this sheet, which I'll show you guys and I'll read to you. I have to put my glasses on. Okay. So I don't know if you can see here. Let's go and zoom in there. Okay. So basically it just says coronavirus, COVID-19. This is from the BC Centre for Disease Control, and I just wanted to share some information on here with you because it's really, really important. So it says you have been tested for COVID-19 and your healthcare provider has decided it is safe for you to go home, and your next steps are to. Now, I wasn't actually tested, but I was treated like a COVID patient and treated like I was tested. He believes I have it, and probably my daughter too. So it just, this is what the guidelines that he's doing in the protocol. So basically, stay at home, number one, and avoid contact with others, self-isolate. And when you cough or sneeze, it's easy for germs like COVID-19 to spread from person to person. Then you wait for your healthcare worker to call you with your test results. Like I said, I wasn't tested. We'll tell you if you need to continue to stay at home and avoid contact with others. And it just goes on to say how to avoid contact with others. It tells you, we know it's hard, but for the health of your family, your friends and community, you need to stay at home and do not have visitors. Do not go to work or school. Ask your doctor, if you need a note. Do not go to public areas, including places of worship, stores, shopping malls, and restaurants. Cancel or reschedule any of your appointments. If you're leaving home for your medical care, do not take the buses, the taxis, or ride sharing where you would be in contact with others. You can use delivery pickup services for groceries or other needs, but avoid face-to-face contact. Face-to-face contact means you are within 1 to 2 meters, which is 3 to 6 feet of another person. So for COVID, you have to stay over 6 feet away from every person. How do I avoid contact with others in my home? And then it goes on to say it is better if those you live with can stay somewhere else, especially if they have a weak immune system or chronic health conditions. We know this isn't always possible. I don't know, talking about separating your family, that's kind of weird. But anyway, me and my daughter have been together the whole time. We're both got sick, so doesn't really matter. If I was sick and she wasn't, you try to keep your distance. That's all you can really do. Or if she was sick and I wasn't, just try to keep your distance. That's all you can do. If you're sharing your home, stay and sleep in a room with good airflow that is away from others. Use a separate bathroom if you can. Wear a face mask, surgical procedure mask. And if you are in the same room with anyone, always wear the mask. Avoid face-to-face contact. Friends or family can drop off food outside your room or your home, but then stay 6 feet apart. So it's pretty clear, the 6 feet. It goes on to talk about what if I need medical care. Pay attention to your health and how you are feeling after getting the test. You can call, nurse, urgent medical care. So if he did tell me if I got worse, if I felt any worse, any of my symptoms got worse, to come straight back to emergency. So I knew that. Call 911, go to emergency. And you have to call the Richmond General Hospital emergency before you go there so that they know you're coming and they kind of prepped for you there. And so this I found interesting. So how do I stop the spread of germs? Actually, my daughter pointed this out. Okay, I'll tell you first. Wear a face mask. We know that. Cover your coughs and sneezes. We know that. Wash your hands. We know that. Do not share household items. Okay. Flush the toilet with a lid down. This is kind of weird. COVID-19 virus may also be present in poop, stool, or feces. Ew, that's disgusting. Always wash your hands with soap and water after using the toilet. Excuse me. So, flush the toilet with the lid down. I guess in case it splashes. That's really gross. And then general cleaning, water and detergent. Use your liquid dishwashing soap. Household cleaner wipes should be used. Apply firm pressure while cleaning. Surfaces should be cleaned at least once a day, and clean surfaces that are touched often. So example, your countertops, tabletops, doorknobs, toilets, sinks, taps, etc. at least twice a day. So that's the whole kind of COVID sheet, and front and back. And I don't know, I just found that information interesting. I didn't know about the toilet thing, that you should be cleaning your surfaces twice a day. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, I can take these off. So anyways, so basically, if this is COVID-19 that me and my daughter both had, I am proud to say that we both got through it. She doesn't have underlying issues the same way I do, but it's great she got through it, and really great I got through it due to my Lyme disease, chronic illness, and everything else. So people, I know it's a scary illness, a scary virus, and it has killed a lot of people, which is so sad, and it has made a lot of people really, really sick. And like I said, we're not going to ever know for sure if we had this 100%, because, we would need to get a test to know that for sure. But the doctor was leaning that way. So if we have it, then we got through it, and that's great. That means that my immune system is boosting up to a point where I can actually survive something like that, which is great. Whether it be the COVID or another virus. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. And I hope everyone is staying safe during this COVID time, and, keeping your distance, washing your hands, staying inside. I don't know how long this is going to go on for, but it's I heard 10 to 11 months before it gets under control, before they get a vaccine, or either 50% of the people become immune to it, and then we can start going outside again. So that's a really, really long time. I hope it's a lot sooner than that. I think the sooner everybody abides by the rules and, thinks about your health and everybody else's health, then the sooner we'll be able to cap this and get on with our lives and get back outside. So anyways, hope you guys are all doing well. Whoops, sorry. And we will talk to you next Monday. Sorry again, that should be bloopers. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.